We're here exposed the fact that Travis Hunter's girlfriend worked at a strip club, but in what capacity? Was she a stripper?
Young lady, mistakes happen.
I did 300K at my mom's house, my car, Leona car, my car, 2 boats. That's just 2 boats. That is 635K, yeah.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Before the whispers about bankruptcy started spreading, Travis Hunter was living like money could never run out. Flashy cars, luxury fits, and wild flexes online. He made it seem like the checks would last forever. But now Stephen A. Smith is straight up calling him out, saying all that shine was just reckless spending that was bound to crash sooner or later.
What in God's name would make you think that that's a good thing?
And yeah, it's his wife's scandal that's dragging this mess into the spotlight right now. But Stephen didn't sugarcoat it. She's a young woman. Mistakes happen, he said, making it crystal clear that the real blame still lands on Travis's shoulders. The question is simple but brutal. What really made Travis's empire crumble, and how deep is his wife Leanna in this chaos?
Leave that about Leanna 1 second. And I don't want to hear anything about anything that she may have done years ago. She's a young lady. Come on, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? She ain't some seasoned, grown woman who's experienced and living her life and, you know, manipulating things. And she's a young lady.
That so-called Heisman Heroes empire is falling apart quick. Travis Hunter, the Jaguars' golden pick and once hyped as a generational two-way beast, was supposed to be untouchable. Drafted number 2 overall in 2025. He wasn't just another rookie.
National Football League. That's what you're about to do. You're about to get paid. In my eyes, this should be your most selfish time. You need to think about the people that you're involved.
He was making history at wide receiver and cornerback, something fans hadn't witnessed since Charles Woodson shook up the game back in '97. Winning the Heisman in 2024, landing a rookie deal worth $40.65 million with a $30.6 million signing bonus. On paper, life was set. He should have been locked in for years, but instead of securing generational wealth, dark clouds started circling at the center.
It's called. I instantly was gonna get, if you watch the video, you can see me but his mom didn't get up, so I was like, oh, maybe I don't get up, maybe I just sit here with her. So I sat there, and then y'all said Coach Prime had to tell me to get up. No, he didn't. He said, go get him, go get your man. And once Travis stood up, but he didn't have to do that because I was gonna do that anyways. As soon as I seen Travis get up, then I thought it was appropriate to stand up, greet him.
His wife, Leanna Nay, her scandals, the rumors about her demands, and their out-of-control spending spree had Travis's fortune vanishing faster than water in the desert heat. And when Stephen A. Smith, the man who never bites his tongue, starts tearing apart your marriage and money moves on live TV, you already know it's beyond serious. He wasn't just throwing shade, he was pulling receipts and putting Travis's decisions under the harshest spotlight. At first, it almost sounded like Stephen was defending them, but nah, he's been one of Hunter's loudest critics, especially when it comes to one shocking move that had jaws on the floor.
We're here exposed the fact that Travis Hunter's girlfriend worked at a strip club, but in what capacity? Was she a stripper?
Travis married without a prenup. From day one, the warning signs were glowing like neon lights. A young athlete suddenly swimming in millions, and he steps into marriage with zero legal protection? That's wild. Reports say Travis and Leanna tied the knot in May 2025 without a single prenup signed. Analysts and money experts couldn't believe what they were seeing. Just picture it. You go from broke college kid to NFL millionaire overnight, and then you risk half your fortune just because you didn't handle the paperwork?
Expected her to do.
I don't have to decide I know I don't have to defend myself from no clowns. I'm not defending myself. I'm defending my girl. Cause she's not gonna get on here and talk. She just hurt. You know, she upstairs. She been crying all day. You know, cause people trying to attack her character. Like, they don't know her. They ain't never talked to her before. So I'm gonna protect.
That's not just careless, that's dangerous. But the drama didn't stop there, not even close. Once those NFL checks started landing, Travis and Leanna went full throttle on a spending spree that had everyone stunned. Reports claim Hunter dropped nearly $600,000 on luxury cars for her alone. The biggest flex, a custom black Mercedes AMG 63 Brabus 800 worth over $200,000. And he didn't just park it quietly, he unveiled it right at their wedding reception like it was part of the show. Then came the jaw-dropping splurge, a $3.275 million mega mansion tucked inside a gated Jacksonville community, 7 bedrooms, 13 total rooms, a private tennis court, a pool, and a 4-car garage spread across 7.5 acres. Straight Hollywood star lifestyle.
Pray for my man Travis Hunter. There's rumors that his current girl is pregnant, but you know that's only rumors. It came out basically came out a month ago. People saying that their wedding, she seemed like she had a.
And as if that wasn't enough, Travis topped it off with a $100,000 engagement ring, a $20,000 Turks and Caicos honeymoon, and a constant stream of pricey gifts that had financial advisors losing their minds behind closed doors. Stephen A. Smith hasn't let up on this point for a second. On show after show, he's been drilling home the same harsh truth. Sudden wealth will eat athletes alive if they don't respect it. And in his eyes, Travis Hunter is quickly turning into the perfect example of how to fumble a fortune. The red flags were flying from day one, and experts were practically begging him to slow down. Even top divorce lawyer James Sexton chimed in, going public and offering free prenups to the entire 2025 draft class, and he didn't hesitate to single out Travis's marriage as the ultimate cautionary tale, a warning of what happens when love meets millions without protection. But the real flames came from the internet, where the chatter about Leanna's motives went from whispers to a full-blown storm.
For 2 months, it's because he DM'd me when he had a girlfriend, and her name was in his bio, so I instantly knew he had a partner. So I exited the message, and he sat there until he was single. I don't do home wrecking. I'm not a side piece. I don't stand for any of those things. I support women, so I would never do that to another.
People online flat out branded her a gold digger, and they weren't shy about it. They pointed at her $sign tattoo inked on her ring finger, the way she allegedly ignored Travis's DMs until his football career blew up, and how easily she seemed to slide into the world of designer bags and luxury toys. And the numbers don't lie. Travis himself admitted he torched about $635,000 right out the gate, nearly $300,000 on a house for his mom, $250,000 on cars for himself and Leanna, and close to $80,000 on boats. And that's not even counting the avalanche of extras bleeding out of his account day after day. Here's the real problem. Travis wasn't a battle-tested NFL vet with years of contracts stacked up. He hadn't even stepped on the field for a single pro game yet. Every dollar he burned came straight from future money that could disappear in an instant. One bad hit.
I did not mean attractiveness. I don't have a physical type, period. No two men that I previously dated look the same. My first one was a white cowboy. Second one was a Mexican soccer player. Then I dated a black man who was a SoundCloud rapper. And then Travis. So I have never dated the same.
One injury or even one losing season, and poof, it's gone. Stephen A. Smith spelled it out clear as day. These weren't just reckless purchases, they were dangerous patterns forming right before everyone's eyes. Stephen didn't hold back. He warned about the sharks circling in every young star's circle, ready to pounce the second they slip up. He stressed how carelessness with cash can lock a player into traps they can't escape. And in Travis's case, trying to keep pace with Leanna's high-priced lifestyle was starting to look less like love and more like a heavy chain weighing him down. Disaster wasn't just lurking. It was charging at him like a runaway train with no brakes. By December 2024, the storm finally erupted. On December 14th, Travis took home the Heisman Trophy.
$300K, my mom's house, my car, Leona car, my car, 2 boats. That's just 2 boats. That is $630.
The first wide receiver in decades and the first true two-way player since Charles Woodson. It should have been the night of his life, the moment that cemented his legacy. But instead, that night sparked the meltdown. Cameras zoomed in and caught the first red flag live, Leanna's reaction, or better yet, her lack of one. While the crowd roared, she barely moved until Deion Sanders nudged her to stand. The clip spread like wildfire online, with fans saying she looked more annoyed than proud. Within days, the internet was tearing her apart, and then it got uglier. Old photos and videos started popping back up, painting a totally different picture from the loyal, supportive girlfriend image she'd been selling. Then came the bombshell that flipped everything upside down. A YouTuber dropped a video claiming Leanna had once worked as a stripper in Atlanta back when she was just 18 or 19. The so-called receipts didn't line up with her story either. The club she was linked to required you to be 21 just to bartend. That meant her excuse about only bartending instantly crumbled, and fans started questioning what else she had been hiding. The fallout was brutal. In today's NFL, endorsements aren't just nice extras. They're the real money machine, sometimes worth more than a player's contract. And when brands smell scandal, they run. Companies that had been circling Hunter with million-dollar deals suddenly backed away fast. Nobody wanted their logo tied to controversy this messy, and the worst part, that was just round one. Because soon after, the internet erupted with even bigger bombshells. Videos started circulating that allegedly showed Leanna in compromising positions with other men. men. Clips from 2020 and 2021 painted a damning picture, her twerking at parties, getting intimate with another guy, and even entertaining sneaky link messages. But the most explosive leak? Snapchat videos that appeared to show her in bed with another man with dates stamped right around 2021. Now, some defenders tried to downplay it, claiming the footage was from before she and Travis were official, but that only added more smoke. Fans couldn't stop debating whether their whole relationship was built on shaky ground from the very beginning, and while the internet argued, Travis's wallet took the hit immediately. The backlash grew so toxic that he deactivated his Instagram altogether, a massive loss in today's NFL, where players can rake in hundreds of thousands, even millions, just from sponsored posts. Travis ended up cutting off one of his biggest money machines right when he needed it most, his Instagram. That move cost him major bags, but instead of focusing on damage control, he doubled down and stood by Liana. His emotional defense made it clear just how badly the scandals were wrecking them both, but it also exposed a brutal truth. Travis wasn't thinking like a businessman anymore. He was throwing piles of cash just to keep her smiling while the world dragged her name through the dirt. That's not protecting wealth, that's speeding headfirst into financial destruction. And then came the next twist. Whispers that Liana might be pregnant. If true, that meant even more financial obligations stacked onto an already crumbling foundation. No prenup, non-stop scandals, and money burning faster than a match to gasoline. The whole thing was looking less like a marriage and more like a trap. And it wasn't just Stephen A. Smith waving the warning flag anymore. Former NFL stars like Des Bryant and Brandon Marshall stepped in too, going public and urging Travis to cut ties before it destroyed everything. Their message was crystal clear. Your career, your money, your future, all of it is on the line for someone who might not even be loyal to you. But just when everyone thought it couldn't get uglier, the situation spiraled even harder. The scandals piled up, the reckless spending didn't stop, and Travis's emotional decisions kept digging the hole deeper. It was all leading to one inevitable outcome: total financial collapse. And it happened so fast that even Stephen A., who's seen decades of athletes lose fortunes, admitted he was stunned at how quickly this young star's empire was imploding. By then, the entire sports world was watching. Analysts, financial experts, endorsement insiders, and every single one of them was pointing back to the same root cause: the toxic storm that began the day Travis and Liana tied the knot. Looking back, every red flag was flashing in plain sight, and together they painted the picture of a downfall that everybody saw coming, except Travis himself. Even the messy timeline of his relationship with Liana became ammunition for critics who swore her intentions were never genuine. It all started way back in 2020 when Travis slid into her DMs and she left him on red for 2 whole months. Later, when the heat came, Liana tried to explain it away, but her excuse sounded more like damage control than the truth. Critics jumped on it instantly, pointing out all the holes in her story. She had already gone on record saying Travis wasn't her type. So if that was the case, why was she watching his every move? Why pop up only once his football career started blowing up? To a lot of people, it looked like Liana was playing the long game, waiting until his star was rising before sliding into position. She later tried to clean it up, saying "Not My Type" was about his personality, not his looks. But by early 2022, the two went Instagram official, and from the jump, Travis was spoiling her with gifts that left people's jaws on the floor. The timing couldn't have been more suspicious. Around the same time, his NIL value was skyrocketing after his transfer to Colorado, and experts tracking the money trail said it was just too convenient. Travis didn't even try to hide it. He casually admitted to burning through about $635,000 during those early months with Liana. The way he shrugged it off like pocket change showed just how blind he was to real money management, and what had advisors truly panicking was the pattern. Every major purchase seemed to circle right back to Liana. The luxury cars, the lavish trips, the non-stop shopping sprees. Her lifestyle kept escalating with every dollar he earned. By early 2025, only months after that massive rookie contract dropped, whispers were already swirling that Travis Hunter was facing serious cash flow problems, the kind no rookie should be dealing with that fast. Think about this, one of the biggest rookie contracts in NFL history, and somehow Travis Hunter was still living like he was paycheck to paycheck. Then the gold digger accusations hit full blast. Fans started blasting Liana, claiming she was draining him dry, while Travis jumped in to defend her. But instead of shutting the critics down, his words backfired. He said, "She makes some money," and that one line made everything worse. Suddenly, their love story didn't sound like love at all. It sounded transactional, like their whole bond was tied straight to his bank account. The real breaking point came in August 2025, when rumors exploded that Liana was quietly preparing to file for divorce. And here's the brutal kicker. With no prenup in place, she could walk away with half of everything. That meant half of his fortune, half of his signing bonus, and even a slice of that massive NFL contract. Money insiders warned the potential settlement could be astronomical, enough to wipe out his wealth before his career even had a chance to peak. For Travis Hunter, the red flags weren't just waving anymore, they were slapping him in the face. But by that point, it looked like it might already be too late. The entire timeline of his relationship with Leanna read like a cautionary tale no one could ignore. From the 2-month silence when she left him Henri, to the flood of luxury gifts that magically appeared once his money started flowing, to the perfectly timed engagement right as he entered the NFL, financial experts saw it for what it was. To them, it screamed of someone who knew exactly how to tie dollars to romance and played it like chess. And what had NFL vets and money managers most alarmed was the dynamic that had been locked in from the very beginning. Expensive gifts weren't seen as special gestures, they were the expectation. And once that kind of standard is set, it only goes one way, up. Behind the scenes, sources said even the Jaguars were uneasy. Publicly, they smiled and backed their golden rookie. But privately, coaches whispered about his lack of focus, his shaky consistency, and the kind of mental errors they had never seen from him before. At practice, the cracks were showing everywhere. The financial stress that Travis tried so hard to hide started leaking out for the world to see. His Instagram, once a polished highlight reel of wins, luxury cars, and exotic vacations, suddenly turned chaotic. One week it was all flexes and expensive trips. The next he was wiping posts, going ghost, and disappearing for days. To fans, it painted the picture of a young star scrambling to keep up the illusion of stability, while in reality, he was drowning in problems. And it wasn't just reckless spending anymore. Legal landmines started piling up too. The leaked content tied to Leanna triggered threats of lawsuits, and even bogus claims can bleed hundreds of thousands in legal fees before they're tossed out. Insiders whispered that things were getting so dire, Hunter was being advised to consider bankruptcy protection, not just to manage debt, but to shield himself if divorce papers ever got filed. Imagine that, a 22-year-old millionaire staring down the nightmare of losing half his fortune before his career even had the chance to peak. What makes it even more tragic is that all of this was preventable. The warning signs had been screaming from the very beginning. The ignored DMs, the "he's not my type" comments, the sudden switch up once his earning power exploded, the constant spending spree that advisors begged him to slow down. Veterans warned him, financial experts warned him, even Stephen A. Smith practically pleaded with him to wake up, but every single warning got brushed aside. Now the entire sports world is watching with morbid fascination as one of football's brightest young stars risks losing it all. Not because of an injury, not because of a bad investment, but because of choices tied to love, loyalty, and money. Choices that could erase a fortune faster than any opponent could ever burn him on the field. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.